What's up, issue? For today's video, with a full Poison Heal ability Pokemon team, I'll be using only Pokemon that have the Poison Heal ability, which is Shroomish, Breloom, and Gliscor. So only a very few actually get this, which is a bit surprising. So I'll be using 2 Shroomish, 2 Breloom, and 2 Gliscor in today's video, and trying to give you some amazing content to watch. I've got 6 different battles with this team, and I hope you really enjoy them. So our first opponent here is a random battle on the Poke Portal, and they have got a Tyranitar. Now, if anyone could translate any of the names throughout this video, I always appreciate that. Thank you, everyone. Now, I got to tell you all something. I narrated this video, right? This is a 52-minute video. I have narrated this video already. And I pressed the record button, it recorded, and then when I hit finish, it was muted. I've actually narrated 50 minutes already, this same video, so I'm doing this again. I'm so salty right now, so if you can help a brother out and hit that like button for a sympathy like, please do, like, because I'm cactus already. I'm so salty already, like, seriously. And I tested it and everything, and it was, it's one of those things, right? If you've ever done that before, it's difficult on post commentary as well. Alright, so I've got this special Gliscor. I'm struggling to do anything to this Tyranitar. I really am. So it was a bulky Gliscor, max special attack, max health, agility, Venoshock, dank pulse for flinching, and yeah, all those and Venoshock and Toxic Spike sort of combination worked well there. So unfortunately, I couldn't do much with Gliscor, so I thought, well, we'll go into Shroomish, because we all know how big Shroomish is. You know, Shroomish has got their massive biceps, right? Their massive arms, so it's able to use Drain Punch against the Tyranitar. And it actually did a pretty good amount of damage there to this. So this Shroomish is a bulky set. We have got on here max attack and max health, Everlight. And I've got Substitute, Spore, Drain Punch, and Leech Seed, Terra Fighting. So now the Tyranitar's going to swap out, and they're going to win. I mean, they're going to swap in their Goldengo, you know. So Goldengo was one of the heaviest counters to this team once my Gliscors were out of the picture, right? Because I couldn't do a lot, like good as gold, ghost type, like perfect typing. It was very difficult, right? So I was in a spot where I didn't want to swap here. So I knew that it would probably just, you know, go for Shadow Ball or Nasty Plot or something like that. So I just let my Shroomish faint here. That was pretty much it. I still can't believe I narrated a 52-minute video. I pressed record, right? You should have seen my face. I wish it was recorded. Like, when the recording button stopped, the audio line was blank. Like, I couldn't believe it. I've only done it a couple of times in 15 years, but this is probably the worst one because, you know, it's such a long video, right? You know. Anyway, the things I do for you people, right? I try and give you guys that quality content, right? So if I do make a few narration errors, we'll be coming up on 2 hours straight of intense live commentary. So I just thought I'd let you know there. So anyway, we're gonna know Gliscor here. This is my physical sweeping Gliscor. I actually uploaded a video yesterday of this getting a sweep, which was really cool. So this is the exact set, and this is when I was trying it out and stuff like that. So I knew they had a Gyarados already in team preview. I knew they'd swap it in, so I pretty much knew what they were gonna do before they were gonna do it. So I went for the Sword Dance, right? That enabled me to get the free Sword Dance up there. I know they had Intimidate, but still +1. I think they were expecting me to go for an Earthquake, but that was not going to be the case. Now they're probably thinking, yeah, oh, I can get an easy Dragon Dance set up or a Waterfall, so that's not going to happen either. I've got Terra Water, and I should have a good option here of actually, a good chance of actually sweeping their team. And there's quite a few Pokemon that I need to get rid of too, because the Breloom sets that I got aren't that... one's okay, but one's absolutely horrendous. It's a special set. And the Shroomish is sort of just tanky support Pokemon, right? So I'm going for Dual Wing Beat here. It's really the best that I've got. It's a 2-hit KO still, which is nice. They're going to go for a Waterfall here, so that's great. I thought they may try and D-Dance, but I guess they just tried for Waterfall there. So I've got Poison Heal up, which is really cool. Now, I've got Toxic Orb on all of my Pokemon except for both the Shroomish. However, there were some instances where my entire team did get poisoned too, which is really cool. So now I'm going to go for a Sword Dance here. I knew that Gyarados would definitely swap out here, and I knew they had Garganacl on their team. So this is probably the only Pokemon that was going to be a worry. But since they swapped it in, I instantly knew they were going to go for Terra. I was like, this is probably going to be Terra Ghost or Terra Fighting or something like that, but I was more leaning towards Ghost, right? Because it's very, very good on it, and with its ability Purifying Salt too, that also countered my team rather well. So I'm going for Crab Hammer here. I'm getting good damage. That's a 2-hit KO. However, they're going to have a Citrus Spread, which sort of sucks, so that's going to change it to definitely a 3-hit KO, right? Now they're going to go for Salt Cure. Now, Salt Cure is going to be a pain because it just sticks around until you swap out. I do have Poison Heal, which is going to be good too, but essentially my Gliscor is kind of on, it's kind of on borrowed time there. Now, if this thing does have Recover, which I'm pretty sure that it's going to, they might be able to get around it. So I thought, you're probably going to swap. You're not going to, I don't think they're going to like risk staying into a Crab Hammer. I wouldn't, because it can crit. So I'm thinking you're probably going to definitely swap out and go into another Pokemon here, something that's more expendable, i.e. the Tyranitar, right? So they've swapped in the Tyranitar, which is perfectly fine. They've set the sand up too, so that's more damage to Gliscor. So they're trying to get rid of this Gliscor, right? So I went for Crab Hammer, and I predicted nicely there. So that's going to be the end of Tyranitar, and that's down. So that's good. That really wasn't much of a problem anyway. So in comes Wah 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 Wah, and I've been pretty careful how I've used Earthquake. I haven't used it at all. I haven't played obvious at all. I've played very well, so I thought, I'm thinking maybe they don't think that I've got Earthquake, but I do. So that's going to be the end of Goldenga there, because I really hid that move the whole time. There's a Tyranitar, there's a Garganacl. I hid that move a lot, and that Gyarados, I knew I was very wary on using that. So now they're going to bring in their King Toilet here. I was like, all right, well, this probably has Sucker Punch. At this stage, there's no point swapping out. I've got all my boosts up here. Let's go for Earthquake and get the damage. So they actually had a Focus Sash. I was like, oh, that sucks. So King Toilet got that, that last little bit on the toilet roll. It's hanging on, you know what I'm saying? And now they're going to go for that Retaliate, and that is the end of Gliscor. But a very, very good effort there by the physical Gliscor. And, there were some solid counters to my team there. Definitely solid counters. So next Pokemon's going to be Breloom. Now, I'm sort of feigning a Mach Punch here, but I definitely don't have Mach Punch. I've got Spore, Focus Punch, Sub, and Facade. It's a classic set. It's a classic 4th generation sub-punching Breloom set. If you played that meta back in the day like I did, you would have seen it a lot. It was pretty interesting. So they're going to go for a Shadow Claw there, so they didn't try a Sucker Punch or anything like that. I just went for Sub, right? Because I thought maybe they'll try and Sucker, and then I'll get a free Sub and Poison or Activate. If they don't, well, it doesn't really matter anyway, right? I can finish them off. So I've got the Toxic Orb up, which is good. Now I can go for any attack. I've got Facade or Focus Punch. I have to go for Facade here. If I go for Focus Punch, my, I'll just get my, I'll get the Focus. Your focus will be lost, or you lose your focus, or whatever, if you get hit by attacking moves. So I didn't want to do that. So next Pokemon's going to be Gyarados, which is a fairly predictable swap-in. They've got Intimidate. But with Facade, this thing hits very, very hard. I tried to rhyme that, see? And we're going to go for Facade and take out Gyarados. Gyarados just simply didn't have enough health, and I had a feeling they were just a full-on sweeping set, right, with the damage that they, they did to me. So now we've got 2 Pokemon left, and we've got Ursaluna Blood Moon and the Garganacl. Now, looking at my team and knowing what I've already got, Garganacl was going to be the big worry here because it was a Ghost type. It had Purifying Soul, and being Breloom like that, for example, that Facade Focus Punch Breloom, what was I going to do with it? Nothing, right? I couldn't even use Spore, so that was an issue. So I swapped that out, and I thought, well, Shroomish really can't do a lot either, right? So we're going to go into Shroomish, see what move they're going to do. Are they going to use Blood Moon or whatever? Plus, I've got Toxic Spikes on the field, which is going to be helpful too for a bit of extra damage. So I've got Protect on this. I thought, we'll go Protect. That's going to be another round. I don't think they'll be inclined to swap out, easily at the moment. I think they're going to try and take out, this is what I was sort of thinking. I think they're going to try and take out as much Pokemon as they possibly can with their, with their Ursaluna, right? Because Garganacl, I don't think it's really got much to hit my Breloom for in terms of super effective damage. Even neutral, I was thinking it doesn't have a lot outside of Soul Cure, right? So now they're going to go for a Vacuum Wave, which is a big mistake because Breloom actually is going to be able to live that and get a Giga Drain off. So this Breloom, in fact, both of my Brelooms are quite bulky. This one in particular was a Max Health, Max Defense set with Bold Nature, and we had Everlight on both of them. So Leech Seed, Toxic, Protect, and Giga Drain. And Shroomish, the other one, was a Sub, Spore, Drain Punch, and Leech Seed set. I think, actually, I already told you that. See, I've narrated this twice now. I'm losing the plot, right? You're gonna give me a little bit of leeway here. So that's gonna be the end of the Blood Moon, which is great. Shroomish did a fine job there, getting a bit of damage and stalling out. So now we've got the Garganackle to take out with a special Breloom and a physical Breloom that can't do anything. So I'm like, what am I gonna do here? I'm going like, I don't like to stall, right? I was like, okay, I'm gonna sort of attack them. If they don't stall, then so be it. They've won the battle, right? So I went for Giga Drain. I was like, I'll just keep going for Giga Drain, right? I'm not gonna stall. And then they use Recover. I'm like, right, that's it. Okay, so this battle, I kid you not, right? This went down to the absolute last, like, minute, right? So I was like, okay, you're going to stall, that's it, you're going to fall, right? So I'm just going to show them that I don't have any moves to hit them with as a common courtesy, right? I want to show them I'm not just doing this on purpose. And now they're going to go for Salt Cure. So they've got Salt Cure. And that's really all they've shown me so far. But I was a little bit curious, like, what other moves do they actually have on this? Do they have like body press or something? I don't know. So I swapped my Breloom out and I went into my next Breloom. So I thought, well, I doubt they're going for Assault Cure again. So let's see what they got right. So the move that they went for was Stone Edge, and Stone Edge is going to land. It's going to do it's going to do donkeys, right? And they've got nothing invested in attack by the damage. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go for Substitute now because that resists Soul Cure, which I know they're going to go for right now. And they're not going to go for Stone Edge against a Breloom behind the sub, right? It's too risky. So I'm able to live that, which is really, really good. And I've got I've got the Poison Nail there, which is excellent. So now it went all the way down for the stalling to the last minute of the battle. I had them on toast. All I had to do was wait another minute and they cancelled the battle. So there you go. If you didn't stall to begin with, I would have just gone for Giga Drain, but that's how the cookie crumbles. A nice little salty cancel there. All right, let's go on to our next battle here. This one is against Gym Leader N. This is a random battle again, and we have a Glimora lead. I've never seen a Glimora lead in my life. I can't, but you know what? There's got to be like a compilation of me saying that. Like all the times I've said, I've never seen a Glimora in my life. I imagine like a pure compilation of every single time. I reckon they'd be close to like, there has to be like at least 50 times I've said that. Maybe 100. I'm not sure. Anyway, so Glimora is actually not a bad Pokemon for this team because I was thinking I might be able to get a Focus Punch off here, right? And set up the Toxic Debris. And that way I can poison my Shroomishes too. But it unloaded a Venos Shock. And that actually really scared me because I thought, ooh, that's actually great against most of my team outside of Gliscor. I mean, Gliscor is a good counter because, you know, commonly it'll have a ground type move like Earthquake, but only one of them had Earthquake. So like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I gotta make sure I get rid of this thing because it could, reverse sweep my team if, maybe if they swapped it out or something like that. So I got some good damage from Focus Punch. I was very happy with that. I had a feeling that I'll definitely get outspeed here because even Breloom with Jolly Nature is not that fast. So that's the end of Breloom there. So that's perfectly fine. So I thought this is actually a good opportunity here for a Gliscor to come in. Normally with this Gliscor and usually with the best Pokemon or the most potential sweeper on my team, I generally wait to middle or late game to send them out. That way I've got a good knowledge on what how the opponent plays, how they predict moves, what Pokemon sets they've got and stuff like that, and then I can sort of take my action from there, right? But I thought this is primed to set up my Gliscor, and I wasn't really too worried about a Glimora at all. In fact, I knew that it would probably cause a swap. So I went for Sword Dance there, and I took this Amoonguss out easy peasy. So that's a good stalling Pokemon right out of the way. So what I can do here is I can either go for a Sword Dance again against Glimora, or I could just feint her. I thought, I wonder why they're swapping it in for. I was a little bit worried about that. I thought, nah, I'm not going to use Earthquake. I don't want to tell them I've got Earthquake just yet. We'll go for the Dual Wing Beat. But unfortunately, Dual Wing Beat actually misses, and they get an Energy Ball off, which kind of sucks. So the reason I did that is because I didn't want to reveal I had Earthquake, because there was one Pokemon on their team I really, really wanted to get around, and I didn't want, 20 minutes to stall or whatever like that. So another Toxic Debris is going to fall onto the field, or some Toxic Spikes, and that's 2 Pokemon down. Now, the next Pokemon to come in is going to be Toxapex. So that's what I was talking about Earthquake before. So I think they believe here that I don't have Earthquake, right? So I went for Earthquake, and it's going to outspeed, no Baneful Bunker or anything like that. But I'd probably say something like, you know, a Water-type move is coming my way, or Haze or something like that, you know? So that's down. So two really bulky Pokemon gone. Now we got another one, which is Clodsai. So Clodsai has got an Air Balloon. So I won't be able to use Earthquake right away. And I'm going to have to use Dual Wing Beat, because I wasn't really 100% sure whether they had Water Absorb or not, which this is actually kind of a good counter for my Gliscor with Air Balloon. So I got that was a crit there on the Clodsai. So that was with a Sword Dancer. I'm not 100% sure what ability this has, because maybe that was Water Absorber unawares. It was kind of a bit hard to tell, because I thought, you know, once I land Earthquake on it, I think I'm going to faint it anyway. So I want to say that one probably was a Water Absorb set, not unawares. So that's 4 Pokemon down. Then we had a Gliscor here in the back. Now, I knew they had a Gliscor here, and I knew that I could use Crab Hammer against it, but I was kind of curious what their Terra would be. So it's going to be Terra Normal. So as soon as you see a Terra Normal Gliscor, it's going to use Facade, right? 100%. 100%. Also, it's not a bad Terra to use on it, even if you don't have Facade, because that means it only has 1 weakness. So it's pretty good, right? And if it's poisoned too, it can't be paralyzed or burned or anything like that. So it works rather nicely on it. So now I'm going to go for the Crab Hammer here. I've got more attack boost than it does, so I knew I'd do more damage. It's going to have Facade too. But Facade is actually, it's actually more powerful than Crab Hammer on, in this matchup. You say if Gliscor had the same amount of attack boost that I did, like, I definitely wouldn't win this matchup either. So I'm going for a Sword Dance here. I thought they might try and weasel themselves another Protect there for some more health, but they're just going to keep attacking me, which is fine. I knew that I could leave like 2 of them, judging on the damage that they did to me before there. Unless they got a lucky crit, that was pretty much about it. So at this stage, Gliscor is going to have to go for Protect here. I almost went for Sword Dance again, but I thought it's not worth the risk, right? I can just attack them after this, even if they go for Protect, right? So I've got, +4 in attack, Crab Hammer, Terra Water, and this is going to do some good damage. So Crab Hammer itself has 100 base power compared to like Facade, but Facade, 60 base, double that base power in there. It's going to be hitting a lot harder than Crab Hammer. I like to use Crab Hammer because I like Terra Water as the defense is there. All right, in comes the Slazzle. Slazzle actually goes for Protect, and then it went for a Flamethrower, so it didn't have anything to hit me with at all. I think that may have been cut out here. I'm just having, this got actually cut out, but it did actually use, it outsped me and used Flamethrower right before I used my Earthquake, so it didn't have any poison type moves at all, which is interesting. So maybe it had some other status moves like, I don't know, Toxic Spikes or Toxic with Corrosion. So I think it was more of like a support style set with a, with a Flamethrower there. Anyway, so that was the Gliscor Suite I put up on my channel. If you want to see the music version, the edited version, you can check it out. I put that one up yesterday. I felt like it definitely deserved a spot in today's video. So our next opponent here, this is an interesting battle because the Meowscarada used Toxic Spikes on my very first turn. So I started laughing here, so I'm like, this is pretty funny. They're not aware of what sort of, they probably didn't realize the Shroomish and stuff like that. So now my Shroomish, or every Pokemon on my team, are going to get instantly poisoned. So I don't have to wait a turn. Like, I don't have to use Protect with my Facade, Breloom, and stuff like that. So they're really making sure that I'm going to get poisoned. Nice and good, right? It's funny because the other week I did a Muti ability team too. So this is sort of like the sort of like a similar vein of theme teams here. But I think I've done most of the poison related teams now out of all of them. I think that I could have done them all. Like, you've got like those two. I actually think I have. I think I've done every single poison related team theme team here, because I am trying to do all, like, every single ability team within reason. Like, if there's only one Pokemon, like, I'll obviously won't do those ones, but I did ones like, the Regigigas, your Regigigas ability and stuff like that with Slow Start. I did those kind of ones. So if there's any ability teams you think that I haven't done, like if you search it on YouTube or playlist or whatever, put it below in the comment section. I want to try and do all of the abilities at least once. So even the real obscure ones would be interesting to me. I did a cool one, like I did like a Sticky Hole theme team. And I did some like really cool mechanics in that too, so interesting ones. Anyway, so this turned out to be a mixed Meowscarlet and was actually hitting me pretty hard with the energy ball here. So it was a weird set. It was like Trailblaze, energy ball, and poison toxic spike. So very interesting Meowscarlet set there. So now I've got the toxic spikes on the ground, which is good. I can actually make use of my my Venoshock, which is going to be handy right now. The next Pokemon coming is going to be Garchomp. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't be because, as you know, Venoshock is going to be resisted by that. So like, maybe I should go for Dark Pulse, right? Let's get some flinches, right? So I went for the flinch and it didn't get flinch and it got a Dragon Claw off. And I only just lived that one. I've got max health on this as well. That's why max health and max special attack, and I'm using agility to increase my speed and stuff like that. So I've got this Venoshock, and it did around as much as Dark Pulse. So that was, I mean, what can you do, right? A special Gliscor, right? Only on PIMPNITE channel. So that's the end of Gliscor, but I was thinking here, this is still good, right? Because all the way Pokemon could be poisoned. So I went into Shroomish, and I wanted to show them, right, that I had poison here on this too. I was like, I want to make them salty, right? So I swapped in the Shroomish. I was like, I've got Drain Punch. I might face Rough Skin, but I reckon I might be able to take this out. So I'm going for Drain Punch. I lived Garchomp's a Dragon Claw really, really well. That's like almost a 3-hit KO after the poison here. So it was pretty funny here because now instead of me being poisoned, I got some more health back as well. So it was very nice of them, to put those toxic spikes on the field. So now I've got sub. I went for the sub to get the dub, but they got a super, super lucky crit there. I could have easily have lived that, got the sub up, and, Drain Punch well, I wouldn't have ended a Drain Punch. It would have fainted this turn. So, bit unlucky there. Some nice luck from the opponent. But that's how Pokemon is, right? Sometimes you get good luck. Sometimes you get bad luck. Now, the next Pokemon to come out is going to be Dragonite. So, I thought, well, I could get a Leech Seed or Spore off here, but I was thinking I wasn't going to live the turn. So, it's going to use Terra Blast. So, Terra Blast is interesting. I thought, that might be a mixed set as well because, you probably would have used Extreme Speed there. So I went to Shroomish. I was optimistic, right? So I went for the Toxic here, hoping that it would just be a physical set that I could tank the moves easy and go for Elite Set and stuff like that. So instead of that, he used Hurricane. I'm like, oh, that's bad. And I only just lived only because I had max health and an Everlight, right? I'm not especially bulky at all on these sets. So I barely lived that, and at least I broke Dragonite's ability in the multi-scale, right? So the next turn, I thought, well, I can go for a Protect here. I've got one Poison Eel, plus they've seen I've got Poison Eel too, another Poison Eel Pokemon. So they're probably thinking, man, I can't believe I set these Toxic Spikes up. They set 2 layers up. So anyway, they're going for Terra Blast again. I was like, oh, this might be a physical. Actually, Terra Blast should be physical from this Dragon, unless they've got it completely special. And they're sort of just hiding that. This should definitely be a physical attack. So I was like, I'll go Leech Seed. Then they use Hurricane. Damn it. So that's going to be the end of my Shroomish there. I was hoping they'd go for a physical move, but alas, they didn't. So that's hard. I'm actually losing at the moment. So I thought, you know what? How about we go into another Pokemon that has Poison Heal and show them that it's got Poison Heal too. So we're going to go into Breloom. We're going to get Poison. Oh no, I'm poisoned. Anyway, so I can go for Facade and take out this Dragonite. Easy peasy from this range. But I thought, first things first, how about we go for a Substitute? They may go for Hurricane and they may miss. I may as well try that, right? And that is exactly what happened. So it's always good if you got Substitute. Sometimes you can create a play there if they've got an inaccurate move. If you've got Substitute, definitely go for that and try it. Maybe at least one turn because that can create a good play there. You can get a easy KO and you can also get a turn of protection for the Substitute. So there was definitely worth going for that. So that's the end of the Dragonite there, which is good. So I'm confident now I can sort of get the rest of this battle won, right? So then I'll admit I forgot about the Misdreavus on their teams. I'm like, oh, this is this is like the Garganacl from earlier on. So I was like, at least I can use Spore on this. There is that, right? So I used Spore on the Misdreavus, and I'm going to put it to sleep. So I thought, well, I could go into my special Breloom. I still got my physical Gliscor in the back, so they can easily get around this stuff. That's not a problem, right? So I could go into Breloom here and at least get that poison too and show them I've got Poison Heal. So I swapped into my Breloom, right? I got poisoned, And now, now I can go for any sort of attacking move. So they went for Dark Pulse here, which is fine. And the moment the Poison Heal came up, right, and healed my Breloom, they cancelled the battle. So they probably weren't very happy that they set 2 Toxic Spikes up there. A beautiful, beautiful salty cancel there. Let's go to the 4th battle here. This is the theme team. I wonder if you can guess what. This is against Brian, and we have 5 Pokemon. Okay, here's your clue, right? There's 5 Pokemon, and they've all got particular names, right? So see if you can guess what it is. The last 3 theme teams, I think the last 3 battles here are all theme teams too. This was really funny, right? So their Gardevoir, I noticed, didn't have Trace, so I thought, I wonder what it's got. Let's go for Toxic. And it had Synchronize, and that Synchronize actually poisoned my Shroomish and gave me the poison, like activated my Poison Heal ability. So that was really, really cool. So, I don't know, I was thinking like, I'm probably going to die to this Gardevoir because it's got like Psychic, right? Because this team's, as you can see, this team's very, very weak to Psychic, like with the Brelooms and the Shroomishes and stuff like that, especially the Brelooms. So with this Gardevoir set, it was setting up Reflect and Light Screen. Like, it was like a screening set, which is, I guess that's another clue too as to what this theme team could actually be. So I've got Leech Seed and Toxic going. Now they're going to set up Reflect. Now, I really can't do a lot in terms of damage to this. I'm just going to go for Giga Drain. That's virtually it. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It just gives Shroomish, a little bit more health back then. So Gardevoir is going to have to attack me very soon. Otherwise, it is going to faint because I've got Leech Seed and Toxic going. So it's actually going to probably faint next turn. So here comes the Psychic, and I lived that one pretty well. I'm not special defensive or anything like that, but I'd say this Gardevoir I would say it's got a lot of investment in bulk. But it's hard to say with the screens up and using Shroomish that does like one damage to Giga Drain. But I did miss my Giga Drain there. I don't know if that was due to the double team at the start or it had a Bright Powder, but regardless, it is gone. So the next Pokemon to come in here is going to be the Infernape. So Infernape, as you can imagine, is a very, very threatening Pokemon. So that's going to use Flamethrower and cook my Shroomish. Now, any Fire-type Pokemon were very, very problematic. Like, probably one of the best counters to this team I found was, like, Volcanion. Like, I versed a few of them, and my Gliscor would struggle getting around and stuff like that. It was a nightmare, right? So now they're going to swap out their Infernape, and they're going to go into little Tatsugiri here. So Tatsugiri, I'll give you a clue, is in stretchy form too. So there you go. There's another clue. I'm trying to give you all some clues here. So I've got my Gliscor here, the special one. You know how good that is. And what I was trying to do, I was trying to get some damage on the thing and set up Toxic Spikes and stuff like that. But first I needed to make sure I outsped it. Then I got taunted by Tatsugiri, which kind of sucks. I was like, well, I can't outspeed it now. So I guess I'll try for some damage. But, with the screens up and a special, Gliscor, it's going to do absolutely nothing. Also, now Tatsugiri is going to be setting up Dragon Dance there. Like, this is very, very problematic, especially with screens and stuff up. So I've got Dark Pulse, I've got Venoshock. I almost swapped there. I was thinking I might swap it, but I didn't know what sort of moves it would do, I hated my physical Gliscor in the back end. I thought, worst case scenario, I could Terra Water and surprise him, but I've got to wait for these screens to go away. So I shook off the Taunt. Light Screen is now gone. Reflect is going to be gone on the next turn. And I've got Venoshock to use too. So now they're going to go for yet another Dragon Dance. I was kind of curious if this was going to have a Terror or not too. I wasn't sure, like, is it going to be Terra Water too or whatever. So I missed the Venoshock there. Reflect is going to go. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to die this turn, right? But then he used Terra Blast. And Terra Blast did absolutely donkeys to my Gliscor. I was like, all right, this is fine. This is perfectly fine here, but I'm not doing much damage as well. I'm probably doing I'm doing less damage than them, of course, but after the Poison Heal, I'm almost probably doing about as much damage as they are. So I thought maybe I should just swap into another Pokemon and try and use this Gliscor for later on. Because it'll take like 1,000 turns to take this thing out. So I decided to swap the Gliscor out because, with a double base power and Venoshock not being there, it did like nothing. So I went into Shroomish. I thought, well, Shroomish I can do something with here. So here comes a Terra Blast and Shroomish. It does kind of about the same amount to Shroomish, to be honest. So I've got Leech Seed here and Drain Punch. And we've got a Terra here, so I thought, all right, let's see what this Terra is going to be. I doubt it's going to be... It would have been water already, it would have used it, right? So it is a Terra fighting. So there you go. That actually works too. So it's going to be Terra Blast fighting on my Shroomish. Like, I should be able to live this one. You know, I'm very bulky on the defensive side. And there you go. I get critters. That's the end of my Shroomish. So that happened. That sucked. So I was like, all right, I've got to go on the Gliscor now. This is my sweeping Gliscor, my shiny one. And I've got dual wing beat, so that's going to be enough to take it out, like, easily. So they're going to go for their Terra. I think this is their only move here, Terra Blast. Like, otherwise I would have used, like, another coverage move. That did about a third of my... Actually did exactly a third of my health, and I'm going to feint that with a dual wing beat. So that's the end of Tatsugiri. Quite a difficult set to use there, especially only having, you know, Terra Blast. Now, the next Pokemon I come at here is going to be Golem. So I'm like, all right... This is probably going to have Sturdy anyway. Dual Wing Beat's not going to do enough. They've also got a Pokemon, like, maybe for Earthquake. So I just went for Crap Hammer there. It didn't really matter. And then I seen Double Edge. Like, wait, it did matter. So it didn't have Sturdy. It had Rock Hands. So like, come on. So anyway, I guess that was the same result as going to die. I just took, like, a little bit of extra damage. Now, I need to take a drink here because I'm coming up to 50. I'm up to an hour and a half of straight narration here. Intense narration, so I need to have another sip of G Fuel. Got to get that 20% off with code SALT here. Okay, I'm hanging in there, people. So, next Pokemon is Armorogue. Now, I actually swapped there because I wasn't really 100% sure what their set was. I thought, let's go into the Special Gliscor and see what they're going to use. So, they're going to use Expanding Force. So, Expanding Force doesn't actually feint me. I guess Max Health kind of saved me there. And I've got Venoshock and Dark Pulse to use too. Now, I was curious whether they would outspeed me or not if they were running any speed EVs on it. It's not that fast a Pokemon, and I outsped them. So like, oh, that, you know, kind of answers my question. So I did very, in fact, I probably should have gone for Dark Pulse there, but it is what it is, right? It's a Special Gliscor. You don't really expect too much out of it. So that's going to be the end of my Special Gliscor. But the next, actually, one of the battles that's coming up, Special Gliscor absolutely popped off. Like, it was crazy. But you got to keep watching, right? Who's watching still? Let me know in the comment section. If you want to comment, leave one below. If you're enjoying the video, make sure you hit that like button too. Always like to hear you guys' comments and stuff there. I like to read these over my breakfast. So even if you're watching it or you want to leave a comment, could be about anything about the video or just whatever, right? I always like to see your comments, you know? And it could be on any video on my channel. I always reply and read any comment on my channel. I always like to say that. And thank you for watching. So we've got some more Toxic on this Armorogue here. Now, I've got Facade. And that's going to be, you know, that's easily going to be enough to take it out. Obviously, I'm not going to use Focus Punch because I don't have the protection of Sub up there. So we're going to use Facade and take out the Armorogue, which is fine. And obviously, we all know that you know, that critical hit. Can't believe how much that one mattered. So we got one more Pokemon being Infernape because it's only a team of 5, and this is Infernape. So Infernape obviously is the biggest counter. Easily the biggest counter on my team here. So now to my team. So they're going to use Flamethrower. Breloom's not going to live that. They're definitely not. I was kind of curious what other moves it actually had too. So I've got a second Breloom left. I wasn't 100% sure what they had. So I thought there's nothing wrong with setting my Breloom in here. Let's go for Terra Electric. I might be able to live that. And then I'll go for Terra Blast. Because I was confident that Gliscor could live a Flamethrower from the Inferno. And they'd already Terra'd as well. And plus I wanted to see what I could do with it. So I went for the Terra Electric Breloom. Now, this was there for any flying type Pokemon. As you can see, I'm pretty weak to flying type Pokemon. Then they went for Heat Wave. And Heat Wave actually almost one-shotted me with a neutral attack there. So that was some crazy stuff there. I actually get a really good amount of damage on that Infernape, which is good, but I'm going to feint in the next turn. I kind of wish I had a priority move here. That would have been, you know, very, very handy. So I've got that Toxic Orb activated, which is not going to mean diddly squat, and I'm done, Ron. I'm going to get outsped. So it's only got Flamethrower and Heat Wave, which I guess is a clue too. I'm guessing it's probably got something like, I don't know, Fire Punch or something like that too. So that's the end of the Breloom. Unfortunately here, the Infernape isn't going to die Toxic. It actually isn't, so it's going to take one more attack. So all I've got to do is live one more attack or, of course, outspeed the Infernape. So I'm on over half health, and I can use anything. I've got dual wing beat, I've got Earthquake, so I decided to go for the Earthquake here, and I'm going to outspeed with Jolly Nature, which is nice. So I'm thinking, judging on the damage they did, that might have been Modest Nature, or like, I reckon it was Modest Nature. Anyway, a really cool team there. I hope you guys enjoy the one. If you can guess what the team is, put it below in the comment section, and let's get on to battle number 5. Now, this one is also a theme team. Now, in this battle, we'll say there were a couple of like little visual glitches here, quite a lot of them. This is one of the last sort of recordings that I did at that point too. So if you see any little visual glitchy things, that is the reason, or freezes, that's the reason. So this is a battle against Art, and we have a theme team here as well. I don't know what this theme team is. I have no idea. So if you do, if you can guess it, let me know. So it's really funny. I got a cursed body there and the screen froze at the same time. That's like, what the heck's going on? So that's the trick room gone there, and this special Breloom. So I'm trying to get a W with special Breloom at the moment. It's proving to be kind of difficult because like I can't do anything else, right? I can't use focus miss on a go, so I got to swap out. So I went into my little Shroomish here. Now Shroomish is going to be able to eat up those shadow sticks easy peasy. That was actually pretty impressive. So I've got Toxic and I've got Giga Drain. I thought if I use Toxic and then I use Giga Drain, I should be able to beat this thing, right? It should be fine. Unless it's got like some sort of like, you know, special move. So Toxic misses, which sucks, and then it hit me with a Dark Pulse. So it's like a flinching set too. But of course, my Shroomish. I mean, this is probably one of the first times Shroomish is, you know, actually outspeeding anything, right? So I'm outspeeding in the mode, which is really, really cool. And they're trying to get those flinches with Dark Pulse. And there's freezes everywhere here. This Banetta's cursed, right? So I was like, all right, well, I'll go for a Protect again and Giga Drain combinations and take out this Banetta. That's what I'm going to try to do here. So Shroomish is still alive at the moment, and I got another cursed body. Now, I actually did a cursed body theme team before a while ago, and there was, I don't know if you remember, like I did a whole battle and I never got one cursed body at all. Like real talk, like I had 6 cursed body Pokemon. So it's pretty funny how often it can happen. Like those abilities, like it's funny how often they can activate and then they just don't activate at all. So I'm gonna go for a protection here, and it's a good thing because this actually used Destiny Bond. So I would have fainted myself there if I actually managed to go for the attack. So that's the end of Agatha, right? She's looking a bit old there. Looking about 200 years old there. So the next Pokemon is going to be Gengar. Oh, look, another cursed body Pokemon. What is this? So I can't do anything. It's just going to faint me with... Oh, I went for Foul Play. I went for Leech Seed because I thought I was going to faint here. I was like, that's interesting. So I went for the Leech Seed. Foul Play was not enough. Maybe they expected a swap there. I was contemplating swapping a little bit, but I thought, you know, Shroomish with 18 health... what am I going to be able to do with that? So I thought I can go for a Protect here. I can't do Toxic. I guess I can use Giga Drain, but you know that one's disabled as well. So I'm cooked, right? I can't do anything. So I'm going to go for Protect and get some more damage out. Now this was actually really, really funny because the Gengar had Venoshock. I was like, oh, that's bad. I'm like, this is good, right? Because I'm not poisoned or anything like that. So that's very, very good. That's not going to be, you know, double base damage. So it's got Black Sludge as its item too. And Shroomish is actually getting a fair bit of health back from Poison Heal and Toxic, you know, the Toxic. But I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to leave a Venoshock, even like unboosted from Gengar. Then the Gengar, right, uses Toxic against me. Like, oh wait, no, this is good. This is good, right? Because it's going to activate my ability. But it's also bad at the same time because Venoshock is going to do double base power. So they were trolling me heavily here. I would never troll anyone else like this. So Gengar is getting some Black Sludge recovery there. It's taken some damage from them little alfalfa sprouts, and now I know it's going to use Venoshock afterwards. But I did get some pretty wild healing back there. I'm back to half health already, which is pretty impressive. So now they're going to use Venoshock, and that's going to take out Shroomish's entire family tree. So that's the end of Shroomish. So I've got to bring in Gengar here. Sorry, Gliscor against the Gengar. Sorry, it's been a long narration, everyone. It's been a long narration. We got a little bit to go here. So I've got my Gliscor here. We're getting a little bit glitchy. Here comes the Foul Play. Foul Play does the right damage to Gliscor, I guess. And Earthquake is going to take out the Gengar. I'll still say the biggest nerf ever was the Pokemon was the Gengar. Losing Levitate was horrendous for her. The next Pokemon's going to be Kingler. Oh, no, Kingler. What? Oh, I got trolled by that name. It was Slowking. Man, these Pokemon, like, it was like that. Wait, that's not even in the game. Anyway, so I'm gonna swap out my Gliscor here, and man, I don't want to take any water type moves. That's gonna be gross. I also don't want to take any psychic type moves with Breloom, but you know, I can't really do much here. So now the Slowking is gonna use Psych Up. So I was like, maybe they expected me to use a status move there. I mean, I could have tried for the Sword Dance, but they would have got that Sword Dance then, which is curious. So I've got Sub and Facade. I can just go for Facade right away and see how much damage I can get to it, or I can go for Spores. I'll just go for Facade and see how much I do. So Facade does pretty much exactly half health, or very close. Then they went for a Swagger. So like, all right, I know what this set's going to be. It's going to be a Swagger Psych Up set, right? But the Slowking had an item being the Mirror Herb. So basically, Mirror Herb does what Psych Up does. So interesting they've got both of them. Maybe they've got that in case their item gets knocked off, or yeah, they see a Pokemon with more desirable stat boost or something like that. Anyway, I get through the confusion, which is great, and I drop that Slowking. So that's half the team down. The next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Porygon Z. And Porygon Z could be problematic here. I don't know if it's going to outspeed me, but I thought I could go for the Sub here. And you know, if it does go, I hope it's not like, I was hoping it wasn't like Ghost or something like that, but it turned out to be normal. So I'm like, yeah, that's good. I went for Substitute. I might be able to get a Focus Punch off here, but I doubt it. I think they're definitely going to attack me here. So they're actually going to outspeed me and go for Tri-Attack. So that is a Terra Normal Tri-Attack Porygon Z. No way I'm living that. That thing's got like a bunch of special attack. And Breloom isn't known for its, you know, crazy bulk or anything. But a curious thing happened, right? The Porygon Z had a Flame Orb. So like, wait, that's got Tri-Attack. And I'd say it's got Facade as well. Or they're just trying to stop them being poisoned. But I think it's more gonna be Facade. So I was like, you know what? Should I Terra my Shroomish? And then I remembered this is PIMPNITE's channel. We have to Terra a Shroomish. So we're gonna go for Terra. Look at it. So Terra fighting Shroomish. Only on PIMPNITE's channel. Look at that ginormous fist. Look at the size of that, right? So they're going to go for a trick. I'm like, oh no, it's going to go and give me that Flame Orb, right? Which is going to burn me the very, very next turn. So at least I'll be able to get one Drain Punch off. So here we go. A Drain Punching Shroomish. Great damage there. Really, really good damage. But the problem is, I've lost my Everlight, which is, you know, I'm not going to be very bulky anymore. So it's, I'm very doubtful whether I'm going to be able to live and attack the next turn. Plus, I'm burned too. But I feel like Drain Punch will be enough to take it out, and with the burn on the Porygon. So here comes the Facade here, and unfortunately, Shroomish is going to get dropped. So even with a physical move there, I got dropped, which sucks. So good play there, good strategy by the opponent. That's a good fun strategy. So I've got another Gliscor, the special one, my physical one, and a Breloom left to use here. But it was a long while till this battle was over. So I've got Dank Pulse, I've got Venoshock, and I've got Toxic Spikes. So I was thinking here, I could get Agility up, and then I could try and go for some flinches, but then the Porygon used Trick again. It was constantly tricking me on. So this is pretty funny, right? So they got the Toxic Orb, and I got excited for a sec because I was like, wait, they're going to be poisoned. But then I was like, wait, they're burned. So I was getting excited because I thought I could use a double base power Venoshock against them, but you know, they're burned already. So it was disappointment after that. So I've got Dark Pulse, I've got Venoshock. Both of these moves, I was thinking, man, I don't even know if this is going to faint. Like, I'm being serious, right? So I went for the Venoshock here, and Porygon actually lives it. That's just embarrassing. And here comes the Facade. Well, Gliscor got some good bulk here, so I lived that one. That's a 3-hit KO, which is solid. So the Porygon Zubul is going to be fainting there. So there's 4 Pokemon down, and we got 2 left there. We got 2 left. There was one Pokemon I was a little bit concerned about, but I don't know what move that I had. So the next Pokemon is going to be Wellspring, Ogerpon Wellspring. So I've got Venoshock. It would have been good if I had Toxic Spikes out there. Maybe I should have set them up before. So I'm going for Venoshock, and I can see that would have been a 2-hit KO. Then we had a big freeze here. I don't know what was going on. And then I got killed by like a mysterious move. Now, when I was looking this back, I'm thinking, okay, that's either Ivy Cud Girl or Power Whip because of that camera angle, right? I know the camera angle. So I don't have to worry about a signature move. I don't even have to worry about Power Whip ever. So they're going to swap out their Ogerpon, and we've got the 6th Pokemon coming in, which is going to be Pormo. So little Pormo there. So now I'm going to go for Focus Mist. This is a special Breloom, only on PIMPNITE's channel. There was, I don't know if you remember this, right? You'd have to be a very, very old viewer and maybe even tuned into a live stream or a video. There was this Breloom someone brought once into a multi-battle. I never forget it. I don't know who they were, but they brought a Breloom called Beamloom, right? And it was funny because it had Hyper Beam and Solar Beam. And I think it had Sunny Day as well. It was fire. Like, I got some inspiration from that set. It was good. Obviously, I think they might have been a beginner, right? But it was really, really funny because I always remember that set. It made me laugh so much. I can't remember what video it was in, though. I couldn't say. It was either in a live stream or it was definitely in a multi-battle, though. That's all I can tell you, but it would have been back in in my Generation 7 days. I'll never forget that. Those would be funny. Like, it was like a funny, it probably wasn't as widely known meme as like the Horn Drill Ponyta and things like that, but it was definitely a memorable, like, sort of meme for me, right? That memorable sort of meme that I remember. Anyway, so this seems to be a Rest and Sleep Talk Wellspring Ogerpon, which is going to be a bit rough here for my Breloom because Focus Miss, you know, it's a bit shaky. So if I miss one, it's just going to keep resting up again. I do have Poison Heal, but they're going to have to hit me with like multiple... You're going to have to hit me with like multiple Power Whips here for me to do anything. And I don't really know what their 4th move at the moment here is either. I'm thinking it might be their signature move. So they're going to go for Sleep Talk and they're going to get Rest, which is very, very unfortunate. I really hate when that happens, you know. It is unfortunate. So I'm going to go for the Focus Blast here. All I've got to do is land another one, or I could even go for the Giga Drain. I thought maybe I should go for Giga Drain here. Maybe I should go for that, because I'm probably going to miss. So I went for Giga Drain in hopes that it would faint it, that I got a low damage roll on the very, very first one. Ogerpon's going to go for another sleep. You can't see it underneath the mask, but it's sleeping a little bit. And I went for Giga Drain, and it's just going to live on 1 health. So you wouldn't read about it. He lived on 1 health, and I know they're going to go for a Rest again, because that seems to be, that's their only way of winning at the moment, is to go for Rest and try and land another attacking move. So I thought, all right, I'll swap out the... I probably should have risked going for Focus Blast, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to swap out and go for the Gliscor, and then we're going to try and go for Dual Wing Beat, because I feel like Dual Wing, like Stab, Dual Wing. Whoa, so that was a freeze there. They got a little bit frozen. That's definitely going to be enough to take it out, right? Judging on the damage I've done for them. So I'm going to go for Dual Wing Beat here. I mean, they've got power. If they land Power Whip against me or Ivy Cub Girl, that's going to hurt. But I think I can still beat them with Breloom if that does happen. So there's the first one. There's the second one. I've got them. I've virtually got them here. Unless they pull out their last move here, and it's going to be super effective. So here comes the final Sleep Talk they're going to be able to do. And is it going to be Ivy Cowgirl, or what is it going to be? And it's going to be Stomping Tantrum. So it's like, that's not a bad combination, but unfortunately, a flying type Pokemon is going to eat that for breakfast, right? So it's going to be able to resist Power Whip, and it's not even going to be affected by Stomping Tantrum. So that is the end of the Ogerpon. And what theme team was that? Let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear your comments and stuff like that. I'm sure it was a good one. I sort of like the format of our videos now. I have some battles against some randoms, and then I'll have some against my community too. It's a really, really good sort of thing I enjoy doing. Anyway, let's get on to this very final battle. This is the battle against Leaf, and we have a ×6 Lugia team. This battle is going to be sped up a lot because there was so many things going on. There was Poison Hills, there was Whirlpools, it was everything, right? Now, this special Gliscor actually was pulling its weight for once. I know you're thinking that's cap, but it wasn't. So I set up the Toxic Spikes there to hit all the Pokemon that are grounded, and I was hoping for a Terror, right? That was sarcasm. So I got a Dark Pulse kill. It was good, right? Then the second Lugia came out. I was flinching it. I was critting it. It was amazing, right? I never actually had such good luck with this before. Then I got a crit, then another flinch. The poor Lugia got beaten. Like, you'll never see a Lugia get beaten by a special Gliscor again. Only on PIMPNITE's channel, right? So then, right, we had this Lugia. It's skill swap. It got Poison Heal, but it didn't end there. It actually used Trick, and it got a Toxic Orb, and Lugia got Poison Heal. Like, imagine this normally getting Poison Heal. This would be this would be like diabolical, right? If this had this ability, like, could you imagine? You'd never ever be able to use Toxic on it. You just heal it. Like, how would you even feint it? So anyway, Lugia's got Toxic Heal. This went for 1,000 years. It had Aeroblast for a bit of coverage as well, which was pretty good against my Brelooms and my Shroomishes. Then they swapped it out and went to Shadow Lugia. So Shadow Lugia took a whole 1 damage there from that Drain Punch. And I was thinking, since these Lugias are nicknamed after like the movies and stuff like, or games and stuff like that, I thought it was definitely going to be a Terra Ghost. It would make sense, right? And then it turned out to be a Terra Ghost. There's a real Shadow Lugia. So Shadow Lugia is going to go for a Curse, which is pretty cool because that's going to turn itself into a Ghost type and put a Curse on my my Shroomish. I couldn't swap out either. So it had the Whirlpool and the Curse going at the same time. And that was the end of the Shroomish. Next Pokemon was my Breloom. I put the Lugia to sleep, and I knew that would die to the Leech Seed anyway. So that's the end of Shadow Lugia. It turned into a ghost again. Oh wait, it was already a ghost. So next Pokemon is Lugia, and I know this surprised you, and I'm going to go for the Terra Electric Breloom, because this is one of the rare times where it actually was going to be kind of handy due to the weakness to electric type moves. So I'm going for Terra Blast Electric, and it's going pretty well actually. It's going very, very well. I remember Whirl Island. I got stuck in Whirl Island once for like a day or two when I was a kid. I was so salty. Like, I don't know, I kept getting lost all the time. I know this surprised you. So anyway, I'm going for Terra Blast over and over, and I finally used Whirlpool on the Whirlpool, right? The last Pokemon is Shiny Lugia. It's going to be a Cursed White Herb set. I'm going for some. I keep getting. I got a lot of crits in this battle, so I'm going for these attacking moves there. No more multi-scale, I think, and this is a Dragon Rush, and then it critted me, which was really, really lucky because I think I would have lived that. I swapped in my final Breloom here. I went for the sub to try and get the dub, and then I went for a Disrespect Focus Punch here, and it did absolutely nothing. I tried to go for a Troll Focus Punch, and it backfired, so I should have just gone for the sub there. My last Pokemon was Shroomish. Sorry, my second last one was, I got Flinch. I put the Toxic on the Lugia just in case. I was like, I should be able to take this one out. Let's go for that. And then it had Acrobatics and fainted me. So all that's left there, 2 minutes of the battle, was the Gliscor. I went for the Dual Wing Beat. It lived, and that is the end of Lugia, and that is the end of this video, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out, everyone.